Chosen one. This moment is not random, and you did not arrive here by accident. Before you ever pressed play, heaven marked this exact second as an appointment with your name on it. What pulled you here was not curiosity, it was alignment. The Spirit has drawn you because something is shifting, and you are standing at the edge of a supernatural turning point. Chosen one, there is movement in the unseen right now. What once felt delayed is being released. What was blocked is beginning to respond. This is not ordinary change. This is divine elevation, a heaven-orchestrated transfer, a transformation sent from above that will alter your position, your provision, and your authority. As it is written, the vision waits for an appointed time, but when it speaks, it will not lie. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. That appointed time is pressing forward now. Anointed one, you may have sensed the pressure increasing the stillness before something breaks open. That is not resistance, it is confirmation. God is separating you, positioning you, and preparing you for what your old season could not contain. So still your heart. Lean in with reverence. Do not scroll away. What you are about to hear is not for everyone, but it is for you. Heaven is speaking, and this moment will mark you. Chosen one. This is not coincidence. You didn't simply stumble into this moment while scrolling through noise and distraction. You were led here because heaven has decided it is time for something hidden to rise. There is a truth surfacing now that will permanently change how you see the people around you, how you understand recent tension, and how you interpret the strange weight you've been carrying in your spirit. Anointed. One, there are eyes on you, not casual glances, not passing curiosity. There are eyes that linger, eyes that study, eyes that measure. Some belong to people you recognize, some to people you barely remember, and some to people you never imagined would be watching this closely. What you may not have realized is this: the attention is not random. It is a reaction to what you carry. I remember seasons in my own life when rooms went quiet the moment I walked in. Conversations slowed, smiles felt forced. I told myself I was imagining things. I blamed stress. I blamed exhaustion. But later, I understood it wasn't anxiety. It was awareness. When God places weight on a life, environments respond before words are ever spoken. Chosen one. Someone close to you has been paying attention in ways you didn't authorize. Not openly, not boldly, quietly, carefully. You trusted them, you shared space with them, you assumed their heart was clean toward you. But heaven sees layers people hide well, and right now, God is peeling back motives not to harm you, but to protect you. This person didn't just watch you alone. They invited others to watch you too. Your name has been spoken in rooms you have never entered. Your image has been passed around like a question no one knew how to ask out loud. Not because of gossip alone, but because your presence stirred something in them they could not explain. Chosen. One, reactions to you have been mixed for a reason. Some admire you, some envy you, some feel exposed by you, and some carry all of it at once. I've learned this the hard way. When God begins to elevate you internally, people feel it externally long before the elevation shows up publicly. There are moments you've felt it, haven't you? That sudden hush when you enter a room. That strange pressure in your chest when someone smiles, but their energy doesn't match. That sense of being observed, even when no one is looking directly at you. These are not random sensations. They are signals. Scripture reminds us that nothing hidden stays hidden forever, and what is whispered in secret eventually finds its way into the light. You are not losing your mind. You are gaining discernment. Chosen one. What's most unsettling is not that people are watching you. It's that the energy around your name is louder than the words they say to your face. Public neutrality, private analysis, friendly greetings paired with quiet comparison. And now, what once stayed silent is beginning to move. I need you to hear this clearly. You are not at the center of this because you did something wrong. You are at the center because you carry something they do not understand and cannot replicate. A light that doesn't come from striving. A presence that isn't learned. A calling that cannot be mimicked. When God says arise and shine, it is not a suggestion. It is a declaration. And every time your light increases, shadows become uncomfortable. Some are threatened by you and don't know why. Others are drawn to you and don't know how to explain it. And one among them, yes, one is approaching a breaking point. What they have carried in silence is growing too heavy to hold. Chosen one. This is why the timing feels intense right now. Heaven is accelerating clarity. What you sensed but could not prove is about to reveal itself. What you felt but could not name is coming into focus. And when the truth surfaces, it will not just shock you, it will realign you. This moment is not meant to break your heart. It is meant to wake your spirit. Because the truth is, they always saw your value. They just hoped you wouldn't see it yet. I have watched God do this pattern over and over, preparing a table in plain sight, while enemies observe in confusion. Elevation often begins with exposure, and clarity always precedes promotion. So stay still, stay grounded, stay aware. Do not rush to confront. Do not rush to react. You are not being positioned for revenge. You are being positioned for revelation. Chosen one, as this truth settles in your spirit, I want you to understand something deeply personal. I have walked through seasons where silence spoke louder than words, where smiles hid motives, and where God taught me discernment through discomfort. There were days I wondered why certain relationships felt heavy without explanation, why peace left the room when certain people entered, and why my spirit felt restless even when everything looked fine on the surface. It took time to realize that discomfort was not punishment, it was preparation. Anointed one. When God begins to shift you into a higher level of purpose, He also shifts your awareness. You begin to notice patterns you once ignored. You sense tension before it manifests. You feel watched, not because of fear, but because something within you is awakening. Heaven is sharpening your perception. What once felt confusing is now becoming clear, not through accusation, but through alignment. There is someone who has been observing you quietly, not always with ill intent, but with unresolved emotion, admiration mixed with insecurity, respect tangled with comparison. They see your growth and it forces them to confront their own stagnation. Your obedience exposes their hesitation. Your courage highlights their compromise. This is not about vanity or attention. It is about the mirror your life has become. Chosen one. I need you to hear this with maturity. Not everyone who watches you wants to harm you. Some are simply wrestling with what your presence awakens in them. They are trying to understand why doors open for you, why favor follows you, why peace rests on you even after storms. And instead of seeking God for answers, they study you. They analyze your movements, your words, your silence, hoping to decode a mystery that can only be understood spiritually. I remember realizing that some people were not walking beside me to celebrate my growth, but to measure themselves against it. That realization hurt, but it also freed me. It taught me that discernment is not judgment, it is wisdom. God does not reveal motives to make us bitter. He reveals them to make us steady. Chosen one. This is why your reactions matter right now. Heaven is watching how you carry yourself under observation. Will you shrink, or will you remain grounded? Will you become defensive, or will you stay anchored? There is power in restraint, strength in silence, and authority in peace. Scripture reminds us that the Lord fights for us when we are still, and I have learned that some battles are won without a single word spoken. You may be tempted to explain yourself, to clarify misunderstandings, to defend your heart. But hear me clearly. Not every misunderstanding deserves correction. Not every opinion deserves access. God is teaching you how to protect your spirit without hardening your heart. Chosen one, the eyes on you are not just human. There is a spiritual dimension to this moment. Angels observe obedience. Heaven takes note of integrity. And when God decides to elevate someone, resistance often appears before reward. That does not mean you are off course. It means you are close. There have been times when I felt unseen, misunderstood, and quietly opposed, only to realize later that God was separating me from people who could not follow where I was being led. Separation is not rejection. It is redirection. And while it may feel lonely at first, it creates space for alignment. Anointed one. You are not responsible for managing other people's reactions to your calling. You are responsible for stewarding what God has entrusted to you. Stay faithful in small things. Stay humble in growth. Stay rooted in truth. Let your life speak louder than explanations ever could. Forgiveness will be essential in this season, not because others deserve it, but because your peace requires it. Bitterness clouds discernment. Grace keeps vision clear. I have learned that releasing people internally is sometimes more powerful than confronting them externally. Chosen one, do not dim your light to make others comfortable. Do not lower your voice to match insecure rooms. You were not called to blend in. You were called to stand firm. And standing firm does not require force, it requires conviction. As this unfolds, keep your heart soft and your boundaries strong. Stay close to God. Let Scripture steady you before noise reaches you. And remember, this being watched is not a threat. It is confirmation. Something about your life is speaking even when you are silent, and heaven is guiding every step you take. Trust the process unfolding around you. Even when clarity arrives slowly, it arrives intentionally. God does nothing in haste, yet nothing he promises is delayed. What feels like waiting is often strengthening. What feels like tension is often alignment. Remain teachable, prayerful, and aware. You are growing in discernment, not suspicion, and wisdom is being formed through experience. Hold steady, chosen one, because what God is doing within you now will sustain you far beyond this season ahead. Your steps are ordered even now. Chosen one. There comes a point in every divinely led life when what has been hidden can no longer remain buried, not because you demanded answers, but because truth carries its own momentum. I have learned that revelation rarely arrives with noise. It often comes quietly through subtle shifts, through patterns repeating themselves until they can no longer be ignored. You start noticing who grows uneasy around your peace, who withdraws when you advance, who listens more than they speak when your name is mentioned. This is not coincidence. This is discernment maturing. Anointed one. There are people who were comfortable with you when you were becoming, but unsettled when you began to be. They liked you when your light was dim enough to admire without reflection, but now that it shines brighter, it exposes places they have not healed. Your growth presses on their unaddressed wounds, your discipline highlights their delay, and instead of dealing with their inner conflict, they externalize it through observation, through quiet monitoring, through silent comparison. This is not about malice as much as it is about unresolved identity. I remember a season when I felt watched in ways that felt unnatural, not threatened, but studied. It was as if my presence triggered internal conversations in others that I was never invited into. At first, I questioned myself. I wondered if I was becoming guarded, if I was imagining tension that did not exist. But clarity came when God showed me that not everyone who stays close does so for the same reason. Some walk beside you to grow with you, others walk beside you to measure you. Chosen one. Heaven allows this awareness not to isolate you, but to mature you. You are learning that proximity does not equal alignment, familiarity does not equal loyalty, and smiles do not always reflect the heart. Scripture reminds us that the Lord searches the heart and understands every intent. And when He reveals this to you, it is not to make you suspicious of everyone, but to teach you how to move wisely. There is a tension building because truth has weight. Those who have been watching you quietly are feeling pressure internally. What they once managed to hide behind politeness is becoming harder to contain. Silence is growing uncomfortable for them. They feel exposed without being accused, convicted without being confronted, and this inner pressure creates instability. You may sense it as mood shifts, inconsistent behavior, sudden distance, or unexpected closeness. These are signs of internal conflict, not your wrongdoing. Chosen one, your role in this moment is not to accelerate exposure, but to remain steady. God is handling the unveiling. You do not need to force clarity. Truth has its own timing. I have seen again and again that when God brings revelation, it arrives complete. Partial exposure creates confusion. Divine exposure brings peace, even when it hurts. There is also something else happening beneath the surface. Heaven is training you for visibility. Being watched is part of preparation. When God entrusts influence, He also develops restraint. When He prepares elevation, He refines character. How you respond when misunderstood shapes how you will lead when understood. How you carry silence now determines how you will handle honor later. Anointed One. You are being taught how to remain kind without being naive, how to stay open without being unprotected, how to love without losing discernment. This is a sacred balance, and it does not come from theory. It comes from lived experience. You may feel the urge to withdraw completely, to disappear, to protect yourself by isolation. Resist that impulse. Withdrawal is not the same as wisdom. God does not call you to hide. He calls you to be anchored. Let Him teach you how to stay present without being entangled, how to walk forward without dragging unnecessary emotional weight. Chosen one. There is also grief in this season. Grief for the version of relationships you thought you had. Grief for trust that felt safe but was incomplete. Allow yourself to acknowledge that loss without becoming hardened by it. Growth often requires grieving illusions so truth can stand. I want you to hear this clearly. The watching will not last forever. Observation is temporary. Exposure is transitional. Alignment is permanent. God is using this season to reposition you internally so that when doors open externally, you are not destabilized by attention or affected by opinion. Stay rooted, stay prayerful, Stay honest with God about what you feel. He can handle your questions. He can hold your confusion. And He will never reveal truth without also providing peace. This is a refining season, not a breaking one. And everything you are learning now will serve you in the next chapter of your life. Chosen one, as clarity continues to unfold, you may begin to notice a shift, not only in others, but within yourself. There is a strengthening happening quietly. What once unsettled you now simply informs you. What once triggered emotion now invites wisdom. This is growth. Discernment is no longer something you reach for, it is becoming part of how you see. And this inner shift is just as important as any external revelation. Anointed one. There is a reason God does not reveal everything at once. Gradual clarity protects the heart. Sudden exposure without maturity can lead to reaction instead of response. But God is pacing this unveiling because He is developing your capacity to carry truth without being consumed by it. You are learning to observe without absorbing, to see without internalizing, to acknowledge without attaching. I remember realizing that my peace was no longer dependent on people understanding me. That was a turning point. When approval lost its power, clarity gained authority. You're stepping into that same space now. The need to be explained, validated, or defended is loosening its grip. In its place is a quiet confidence rooted in knowing who you are and who called you. Chosen one. The attention you are receiving is not a reflection of ego, it is a reflection of assignment. When God marks a life, it becomes noticeable in ways that cannot be manufactured. Some will admire it, some will resist it, some will misunderstand it. But none of that defines it. Only obedience does. This is where spiritual maturity deepens. You stop asking why others feel uncomfortable around your light and start asking how you can steward that light responsibly. Influence is not about dominance, it is about presence, and presence carries weight whether you speak or not. Anointed one. There is a divine discipline being formed in you. Learning when to speak and when to remain silent. Learning when to engage and when to step back. Learning that not every truth needs immediate articulation. Some truths need time to mature before they are shared. Even Jesus stood silent when accusation demanded defense. Silence is not weakness when it is guided by purpose. You are also learning forgiveness at a deeper level. Not performative forgiveness, not verbal forgiveness, but internal release. The kind that loosens emotional ties to expectation. The kind that frees your energy to move forward without dragging old weight behind you. Forgiveness does not excuse behavior. It releases control, and in doing so, it restores peace. Chosen one. There will be moments when the watching intensifies before it fades. This is often the final phase before transition. When people sense change but cannot stop it, they observe more closely. But remember this: observation does not equal authority. Their watching does not direct your path. God does. You are being prepared for a season where visibility increases, not decreases. And what you are learning now will keep you grounded when attention grows louder. The same God who sees you now will sustain you then. Stay anchored in Him, not in reaction to others. Let your life remain simple, even as your calling expands. Keep your routines grounded. Keep your prayer honest. Keep your heart open, but protected. And trust that God is ordering every detail, even the uncomfortable ones. Chosen one, you are not behind. You are not exposed without covering. You are not alone in this process. Heaven is actively involved in your becoming. What is unfolding now is alignment, not chaos. Preparation, not punishment. And when the season shifts, you will look back and realize that what felt heavy was actually strengthening you. Remain steady, remain faithful, remain attentive. God is shaping you quietly, and what He is forming within you now will outlast the opinions, the watching, and the whispers. Your path is secure, and your future is held. Chosen one. There is a deeper layer to this season that may not be immediately visible, but you can feel it if you slow your spirit long enough. This is the stage where God begins to rewire how you trust, not by removing people suddenly, but by teaching you discernment without cynicism. You are learning how to love without overextending, how to care without overexposing, how to walk openly without giving everyone access to your inner world. This is not withdrawal. This is wisdom taking shape. Anointed one. I want to speak honestly from lived experience. There was a time when I believed closeness automatically meant safety. I assumed that shared history guaranteed shared intention. But God taught me that history explains behavior. It does not excuse it. Some people are not malicious. They are simply unhealed. And unhealed people can love you deeply and still wound you unintentionally. This realization is painful, but it is also liberating. You may notice now that certain people feel unsettled by your calm. Your peace no longer feeds their need for chaos. Your clarity no longer fuels their confusion. And instead of celebrating your growth, they feel displaced by it. This is not because you have changed for the worse. It is because your alignment disrupts old dynamics that relied on imbalance. Chosen one. This is why God is strengthening your inner voice. You no longer need external affirmation to validate what you already know internally. When something feels off, you do not rush to label it. You observe, you pray, you wait, and in waiting, truth reveals itself without force. I have learned that impatience often leads to confrontation, but patience leads to confirmation. There is also a quiet grief in realizing that some people can admire you and still compete with you. They can care for you and still compare themselves to you. They can respect you and still resent the ease with which God moves in your life. This complexity does not make them villains. It makes them human, but it does require boundaries. Anointed one boundaries are not walls. They are doors with discernment. They determine who enters and how close they are allowed to stand. God is teaching you that access is earned through consistency, not assumed through proximity. This lesson will protect you in future seasons where influence grows and attention multiplies. You may also feel moments of loneliness, even while surrounded by people. This is common in transitional seasons. God often creates internal separation before external change. It allows you to anchor in Him rather than in relationships that cannot follow where you are being led. Loneliness does not always mean lack of connection. Sometimes it means you're outgrowing environments that once felt familiar. Chosen one, resist the temptation to numb this discomfort through distraction. Do not rush to fill the quiet with noise. Sit with God in it. Let Him speak. Let Him clarify. Some answers only come in stillness. Some confirmations only arrive when you stop explaining yourself to people who were never meant to understand. There is also a refining of motive happening within you. God is checking why you do what you do, not to condemn you, but to purify you. He is ensuring that your obedience is rooted in love, not validation, that your service is rooted in calling, not comparison, that your humility is genuine, not performative. Anointed. 1. This is how spiritual authority is formed, not through loud declarations, but through quiet obedience, not through visibility, but through integrity when no one is watching. Ironically, this inner formation is happening while others are watching you externally. Heaven and earth are both observing, but only one defines you. You may notice that your prayers are changing. Less begging, more listening, less anxiety, more surrender. This is growth. You are learning to trust God, not just for outcomes, but for timing. And timing is everything in this season. Chosen one, do not fear what is being revealed. Truth does not come to shame you. It comes to steady you. It comes to position you for what is next. And what is next will require a version of you that is grounded, discerning, and unshaken by opinion. Stay gentle with yourself. You are learning lessons that cannot be taught quickly. And everything God is allowing now is preparing you to walk forward with wisdom, not wounds. This season is shaping you quietly, deeply, and intentionally. Chosen one. As this season matures, you may begin to sense a subtle but powerful shift in how you carry yourself. It is not pride, it is not distance, it is stability. You are no longer as reactive to atmosphere changes. You are no longer thrown off balance by silence or speculation. Something inside you has settled. This is what happens when identity becomes rooted rather than borrowed. Anointed one. There is a moment when discernment stops feeling like suspicion and starts feeling like peace. You no longer feel the need to figure people out. You simply see clearly. And clarity brings rest. I remember realizing that not every unanswered question needed an answer to move forward. Some truths are revealed only after you have already taken the next step. You are learning now that God does not require you to manage perception. That burden is too heavy and never assigned to you. Your responsibility is alignment. When you stay aligned, perception eventually corrects itself, or it becomes irrelevant. Both outcomes are victories. Chosen one. The watching you have experienced has served a purpose. It revealed who was unsettled by your growth. It highlighted who could not follow where you were going. And it clarified where your trust needed recalibration. But it will not define your future. It was a passage, not a destination. There is also a quiet confidence growing in you that does not need to announce itself. You are becoming comfortable letting God speak for you. Comfortable letting time reveal truth. Comfortable letting actions outweigh explanations. This kind of confidence cannot be shaken by gossip or misunderstanding because it is anchored in something deeper than opinion. Anointed one. This is also where compassion deepens. You begin to see that some of the people who watched you were not plotting against you. They were wrestling within themselves. Your light illuminated their unaddressed fears, their postponed obedience, their buried potential. That does not excuse behavior, but it reframes it. And reframing allows forgiveness without reconciliation. Forgiveness does not always lead to restored access. Sometimes it simply leads to released weight. You are allowed to forgive and still move forward without reopening doors. God honors that wisdom. Chosen one. You are stepping into a phase where your presence carries quiet authority. You do not need to prove yourself. You do not need to defend your path. Those who are meant to walk with you will recognize alignment without persuasion. Those who are not will gradually fall away without confrontation. This is how God preserves peace while advancing purpose. He removes friction without force. He creates separation without chaos. And He does it while strengthening you internally, so that when external change comes, it does not destabilize you. You may feel anticipation rising now, not anxiety, but readiness. Something in you knows you are approaching a transition. Not everything is clear yet, but enough is. You know what you're no longer willing to tolerate. You know what you will no longer explain. You know what you must protect. Anointed One, protect your spirit, not by isolating yourself, but by staying anchored in truth. Keep your life simple, keep your heart clean, keep your motives pure, and trust that God is doing more behind the scenes than you can currently see. The season of being watched is giving way to a season of being trusted. Trusted with responsibility, trusted with influence, trusted with stewardship, and that trust begins internally before it manifests externally. Chosen One, remain steady. Do not rush the process. Do not romanticize the tension. Simply walk faithfully. God is not finished. He is intentional, and everything unfolding now is aligning you for a future that will require the strength you are developing today, Chosen One. There is a quiet recalibration happening now that may not be obvious on the surface, but it is unmistakable in the spirit. You are beginning to move differently, not because you are trying to protect yourself from people, but because you are learning how to protect what God is building within you. This is the phase where maturity replaces urgency, where reaction gives way to reflection, where you no longer feel the need to rush clarity because you trust that truth unfolds at the right pace. Anointed One, I want to share something personal here. There was a time when I believed that being transparent meant being available to everyone. I thought openness required full access. But God showed me that transparency and access are not the same thing. You can live honestly without living exposed. You can be real without being reachable by everyone. That lesson changed how I stewarded relationships, time, and emotional energy. You may notice now that you are less eager to explain yourself, not because you don't care, but because you've realized that explanations don't always bring understanding. Some people don't misunderstand you because you're unclear. They misunderstand you because clarity would require them to change, and change is uncomfortable for those who have grown used to staying where they are. Chosen One, there is also a refining of your voice happening. You are learning when to speak, and when silence carries more authority. Silence is not absence, it is presence under control. I have seen God do more through my silence than through my arguments. When you stop trying to convince people of your intentions, God begins to reveal them through outcomes. There is a subtle grief you may still feel, especially when you realize that some people you hoped would grow with you are no longer aligned with where you are headed. Allow yourself to acknowledge that grief without judgment. Loss does not always come through betrayal. Sometimes it comes through divergence. Paths that once ran parallel eventually separate, not because of conflict, but because of calling. Anointed One, this is where compassion deepens. You begin to see people clearly without needing to label them. You recognize insecurity without absorbing it. You notice admiration without being flattered by it. You sense tension without becoming reactive. This emotional steadiness is not accidental. It is the fruit of a season where God has been teaching you how to stand without leaning. You may also notice that your prayers have shifted again. They are quieter now, less urgent, more trusting. You are no longer asking God to fix situations as much as you are asking Him to guide your steps. This is spiritual maturity. You trust His character enough to trust His process. Chosen one, the watching that once felt heavy is losing its grip. Not because people have stopped watching, but because you have stopped internalizing it. Their opinions no longer sit on your chest. Their silence no longer unsettles you. Their reactions no longer dictate your pace. You are becoming internally governed rather than externally influenced. There is strength in this. Strength that does not announce itself. Strength that shows up as consistency, faithfulness, and quiet resolve. This is the kind of strength God entrusts with influence because it does not seek attention, it carries responsibility. Anointed one, remain attentive to your inner world. Guard it gently. Do not allow curiosity about others' motives to distract you from your own alignment. Discernment is meant to guide, not to consume. Let God handle what is outside of your control. Focus on obedience, integrity, and presence. You are doing better than you think. Growth often feels uncomfortable because it requires shedding old reflexes. But every layer being removed is making space for greater clarity. You're not losing yourself, you're refining yourself. Stay faithful, stay grounded, stay open to God's instruction. This season is not about proving anything to anyone. It is about becoming someone who can carry what is coming without losing peace. Chosen one. As this chapter continues to unfold, you may sense a quiet readiness forming beneath the surface of your life. It is not impatience, it is preparedness. Something in you knows that you're being positioned, not hurried. And that awareness brings calm rather than pressure. You're learning how to wait without stagnating and move without striving. Anointed one. There is a difference between anticipation and anxiety. Anxiety rushes the future. Anticipation honors timing. You are stepping into anticipation. You trust that what God is preparing will arrive fully formed, not rushed, not incomplete. That trust changes how you show up every day. You become present instead of preoccupied. I remember realizing that my daily obedience mattered more than dramatic moments of clarity. Showing up consistently, being faithful in small things, choosing integrity when no one was watching. Those quiet choices built a foundation that sustained me when attention eventually came. You are building that same foundation now. Chosen one. The attention you experienced earlier served as a mirror, not a verdict. It revealed what others saw, but it does not define who you are. God alone defines you. And when His definition becomes your anchor, external observation loses its power to shape you. You may also notice that certain doors are quietly closing without resistance. Conversations fade, connections loosen. Opportunities that once felt exciting now feel heavy. This is not loss, it is refinement. God is aligning your environment with your assignment. What cannot follow you forward is being gently released. Anointed one, there is grace in this process. You are not being stripped. You are being streamlined. God is removing distractions so that when clarity fully arrives, you are not weighed down by unnecessary attachments. This makes room for peace focus and deeper connection with Him. There will be moments when you reflect on how much has changed internally, even if externally things look similar. That internal change is significant. You are responding differently. You are choosing peace faster. You are recovering more quickly. These are signs of growth that matter. Chosen one, do not underestimate the power of stability. Stability is often mistaken for stagnation, but it is the ground from which sustainable growth emerges. God values roots as much as fruit. And deep roots are formed in seasons that feel quiet, reflective, and slow. As you continue forward, keep your heart tender. Do not let discernment turn into distance from God or others. Let it guide you toward healthier connection, not isolation. God did not form you for solitude alone. He formed you for purpose, and purpose requires community aligned with truth. Anointed One, trust that God is orchestrating details you cannot yet see. Trust that timing is working in your favor. Trust that what felt uncomfortable was necessary. And trust that the strength forming within you now will support you in seasons of greater responsibility. You are not wandering. You are not delayed. You are being prepared with intention. Walk forward with humility and confidence. Keep your spirit open and your focus clear. God is faithful to complete what He begins, and your journey is unfolding exactly as it should. Chosen One. There is a moment in every spiritual journey when you realize that what once felt like pressure has quietly turned into strength. You may not remember the exact day it happened, but you notice it in how you respond now. Situations that once unsettled you no longer have the same effect. Conversations that once stirred confusion now pass without attachment. This is not numbness, this is grounding. You are standing on a firmer internal foundation than before. Anointed One. This season has been teaching you something subtle yet powerful. Not everything that affects you deserves access to you. You are learning how to witness life without absorbing every emotion, every opinion, every unspoken expectation. That discernment did not come cheaply. It was forged through moments of discomfort, silence, and unanswered questions. And now it is becoming wisdom. I remember reaching a point where I stopped asking God to explain people to me and started asking Him to anchor me in truth. That shift changed everything. Instead of being consumed with motives, I became focused on alignment. Instead of trying to decode behavior, I learned to trust patterns. Patterns never lie, and God uses patterns to teach without overwhelming. Chosen One. There are people who once had emotional influence over you simply because you valued their presence. But now you are beginning to see clearly that influence must be earned through consistency and honor. Familiarity alone no longer qualifies. This clarity may feel sobering, but it is also freeing. You are no longer obligated to carry relational weight that was never meant to be yours. Anointed. One, do not mistake this shift for hardness of heart. Your heart is not closing, it is maturing. You still feel deeply, you still care, but you are no longer easily pulled off center. You are learning the difference between empathy and entanglement, compassion and responsibility, love and overextension. This is important because where God is taking you will require emotional stability. Influence without stability leads to burnout. Visibility without grounding leads to insecurity. God is ensuring that when your life begins to affect more people, you are not moved by every reaction. You will be guided by truth, not applause or resistance. Chosen One. There is also a new level of honesty forming within you. You are becoming more truthful with yourself about what drains you, what nourishes you, and what no longer fits. This self-awareness is not selfish, it is stewardship. You cannot steward your calling well if you are constantly depleted by misaligned expectations. There were times when I believed endurance meant tolerating everything. But endurance, I learned, is not about tolerating what harms you. It is about remaining faithful to what heals you. God is teaching you endurance that protects your spirit rather than exhausts it. Anointed One, you may notice that your circle feels smaller, but your clarity feels larger. This is intentional. God often reduces noise before increasing responsibility. He simplifies before He multiplies. and simplicity creates space for hearing his voice more clearly. You're also becoming less reactive to delayed outcomes. Waiting no longer feels like punishment. It feels like preparation. You trust that what is unfolding cannot be rushed without losing integrity. This patience is evidence of growth. Immature faith demands immediate answers. Mature faith trusts unseen work. Chosen one. I want to affirm something clearly. You have not missed your moment. You are not late. You are not behind. Everything you have walked through has been shaping your capacity to carry what is ahead. God wastes nothing, not confusion, not silence, not even misalignment. He uses it all. There will still be moments when old feelings resurface, doubt, sadness, questions about people you hoped would understand you better. Let those moments pass without judgment. Growth does not erase memory, it reframes it. You are allowed to remember without reliving. Anointed one. This is also a season where gratitude deepens. You may find yourself more thankful for peace than praise, more grateful for stability than excitement. That gratitude is wisdom speaking. It means you understand the value of what you have been given internally. As you move forward, keep choosing integrity even when shortcuts appear tempting. Keep choosing humility even when recognition comes slowly. Keep choosing obedience even when understanding is incomplete. These choices are building something that will last beyond temporary seasons. Chosen one. You are not defined by who watched you, questioned you, or misunderstood you. You are defined by who called you, formed you, and walks with you still. The watching served its purpose. The tension taught its lesson. And now you are stepping into a phase marked less by observation and more by trust. Trust yourself to hear God clearly. Trust the discernment He has grown in you. Trust the timing that has carried you this far. You are not walking blindly. You are walking attentively. Remain open but anchored, sensitive but steady, humble but confident. God is not finished shaping you, but what He has already formed within you is strong, and that strength will carry you into whatever comes next, not with fear, but with peace. This journey has not been easy, but it has been intentional. And intention always leads somewhere meaningful. Keep walking, chosen one. Your steps are ordered, your spirit is guarded, and your future is unfolding with purpose. Chosen one. There is a sacred stillness settling around your life now, and it is not emptiness. It is alignment. You may notice that the constant internal noise has quieted, not because questions disappeared, but because trust has taken their place. You are no longer fighting for clarity, you are resting in it, and that rest is evidence that something inside you has finally locked into place. Anointed one. This is the stage where faith becomes embodied rather than spoken. You do not need to announce what you believe. It shows in how you move, how you respond, how you wait. Your life is beginning to speak for itself. There is authority in that. Quiet authority, the kind that does not demand attention but commands respect without effort. I want to speak from experience here. There was a time when I thought strength meant pressing forward no matter what I felt. But God taught me that true strength includes knowing when to pause without fear of falling behind. When you are aligned, stillness does not stall you, it stabilizes you. And stabilization is necessary before expansion. Chosen one. The watching that once felt heavy has transformed into something else. It no longer feels invasive, it feels distant. Not because people have changed, but because you have. Their opinions no longer sit close to your heart. Their silence no longer echoes loudly in your thoughts. You are no longer defined by external awareness. You are internally anchored. This anchoring is crucial because what lies ahead will require discernment without distraction. God is preparing you for environments where influence is subtle and responsibility is real. You will be trusted not because you are loud, but because you are consistent. Not because you react quickly, but because you respond wisely. Anointed One. There is also a deeper humility forming within you. Not the kind that minimizes who you are, but the kind that honors where your strength comes from. You know now that everything you carry was entrusted to you, and stewardship changes how you see yourself. Pride dissolves, gratitude deepens, responsibility sharpens. You may feel a renewed commitment to simplicity. Less explaining, less proving, less striving. More presence, more listening, more intentional living. This is not withdrawal, this is refinement. God often strips away excess before releasing increase. He removes noise so that purpose can speak clearly. Chosen One. This is also where discernment becomes proactive rather than reactive. You're no longer responding to situations as they arise. You are sensing shifts before they surface. You feel when something is misaligned early and you adjust quietly. This saves you energy. It protects your peace. It preserves your focus. I remember realizing that I no longer needed to be right to be at peace. That realization was freeing. You are stepping into that freedom now. You are less concerned with winning conversations and more concerned with walking in truth. That shift will save you from unnecessary battles and conserve strength for what truly matters. Anointed One, you are also learning to trust your own growth. You no longer second-guess every decision. You pray, you listen, you act. And if adjustment is needed, you adjust without self-condemnation. This flexibility is wisdom. It means you are secure enough to learn without feeling threatened. There is a sense of readiness emerging now. Not urgency, readiness. You're not chasing the next chapter, but you are prepared for it. That preparation did not happen overnight. It was built through every moment of confusion, every silent season, every time you chose integrity when no one was watching. Chosen One, honor this version of yourself. The one who stayed faithful when answers were incomplete. The one who chose grace over bitterness. The one who learned restraint instead of retaliation. These choices matter more than you realize. They have shaped your character in ways that will sustain you long term. You may still encounter moments of uncertainty. That is human. But uncertainty no longer controls you. It informs you. You move forward thoughtfully, prayerfully, without panic. Panic no longer has authority here. Peace does. Anointed One, trust that God is positioning you with precision. Nothing in your journey has been accidental. Even the delays served a purpose. Even the watching shaped awareness. Even the silence strengthened your inner life. God wastes nothing. As you continue forward, remain attentive but relaxed, disciplined but gentle, confident but teachable. These qualities will carry you further than ambition ever could. Chosen One, you are no longer becoming who you are meant to be. You are beginning to live as who you already are, and that shift will quietly change everything. Chosen One, there is a sacred maturity now settling into your spirit, and it shows in the way you no longer rush to interpret every moment. You have learned that not every silence is rejection, and not every delay is denial. Some pauses are invitations to deepen trust. You're beginning to recognize that God often speaks through what is withheld just as clearly as through what is revealed. This understanding is not theoretical anymore. It has been formed through experience. Anointed One, you are noticing that your inner world feels more ordered. Your thoughts no longer scatter as easily. Your emotions no longer pull you in competing directions. When something unsettles you, it does not hijack you. You acknowledge it, bring it to God, and allow wisdom to respond. This is emotional strength rooted in spiritual alignment. I want to affirm this clearly. You are not colder. You are clearer. You are not distant. You are discerning. There is a difference. You still love deeply, but you love from a place of wholeness rather than need. You no longer seek connection to fill gaps that only God can fill. That shift alone changes every relationship you carry forward. Chosen One. There was a time when you may have felt responsible for holding everything together, for being the steady one, for absorbing tension so others could remain comfortable. But God is releasing you from that assignment. You are not called to manage everyone's emotions. You are called to steward your own obedience, and obedience brings peace. You may notice that conversations are changing. You speak less, but when you do, your words carry weight. You listen more, but you are not easily persuaded. Your presence feels grounded, not performative. This is authority forming quietly, the kind that does not announce itself, but is felt. Anointed One, there is also a gentle courage growing in you. Courage that does not need confrontation to feel powerful. Courage that allows you to walk away without explanation. Courage that trusts God to defend what you no longer need to protect. I have learned that some of the strongest decisions are the quiet ones no one applauds. This season has taught you that peace is not passive. It is chosen. You have chosen peace over proving clarity, over chaos, obedience, over approval. Those choices have shaped you more than any external outcome ever could, and they will continue to shape your future. Chosen One. There will still be moments when old memories surface, faces, words, moments of disappointment. Let them pass without resistance. Memory does not mean regression, it means integration. You are integrating lessons without carrying wounds. That is healing. Anointed One. You are also learning how to trust joy again. Not shallow excitement, but steady joy rooted in knowing that your life is held. Joy that does not depend on circumstances being perfect. Joy that exists even in waiting. This joy is strength, and it will sustain you. As you move forward, you may feel less compelled to explain your journey. That is wisdom. Those meant to understand will recognize alignment without explanation. Those who do not are not required to. Your path is not a public debate. It is a personal calling. Chosen One, keep honoring the process that shaped you. Do not rush ahead of it. Do not minimize what you have learned. Every step mattered. Every quiet moment counted. God was present, even when you felt unsure. Remain prayerful, but not anxious. Attentive, but not tense. Open, but not unguarded. This balance is rare, and it has been cultivated intentionally within you. Trust it. Anointed One, you're stepping into a phase marked by steadiness rather than striving, clarity rather than confusion, peace rather than pressure. This does not mean challenges disappear. It means you are no longer defined by them. Continue walking faithfully. God is not finished revealing what He has prepared, but you are already equipped to carry it. Your spirit is anchored. Your discernment is sharpened. Your heart is steady, chosen one. This is the phase where your life begins to feel intentional in ways you cannot fully explain, yet deeply trust. You are no longer questioning whether you are on the right path. You sense it in the alignment of your days, in the way resistance no longer drains you, in the quiet confidence that has replaced urgency. What once felt like pressure has softened into purpose. This is not complacency. This is clarity. Anointed One. There is a deeper awareness forming now, a knowing that does not need constant confirmation. You have learned that when God leads, He does not rush you, and when He positions you, He does not confuse you. Confusion was never a sign you were lost. It was a sign you were being refined. And refinement has a way of sharpening perception until truth feels recognizable the moment it arrives. I want to speak honestly here. There were seasons when I mistook exhaustion for sacrifice and anxiety for discernment. But God taught me that His guidance does not crush the soul, it steadies it. You are discovering that same truth. You no longer feel the need to overextend yourself to prove faithfulness. Your obedience is quieter now, but it is deeper, and depth carries weight. When your discernment has matured beyond reaction, you no longer wait for situations to erupt before responding. You sense shifts early. You feel when something is misaligned before it becomes obvious. This is not suspicion. This is sensitivity shaped by experience and prayer, and this sensitivity will protect you in ways you may never fully see. Anointed One, there is also a sacred detachment forming in you. Not apathy, but clarity. You are learning how to be present without being entangled, how to care without carrying what does not belong to you, how to love without losing yourself. This balance is not common, and it was not learned easily. It came through moments where you had to choose yourself without guilt and God without apology. You may notice that your circle feels smaller, but your peace feels larger. That is not loss. That is alignment. God often simplifies before He amplifies. He removes distractions so discernment can speak clearly. You are no longer surrounded by noise but by purpose, and purpose does not require many voices, it requires the right ones. Chosen One. Your relationship with time is changing. You're no longer anxious about what has not happened yet. You're no longer haunted by what has already passed. You're becoming present, fully present, and presence is power. When you're present, you can hear God clearly, respond wisely, and move intentionally. There is also a deeper trust developing between you and God. Not the kind built on outcomes, but the kind built on intimacy. You trust Him even when plans shift. You trust Him even when clarity unfolds gradually. You trust Him because you have seen His faithfulness in hindsight enough times to recognize His pattern. He prepares before He reveals. He strengthens before He sends. Anointed One, you are also learning the discipline of restraint. Not everything requires your comment. Not every misunderstanding requires correction. Not every invitation requires acceptance. You have learned that discernment often speaks through hesitation, through pause, through inner stillness. And you honor that stillness now instead of overriding it. I remember realizing that peace was not something to defend aggressively, but something to guard gently. You are learning that now. You are protecting your inner life without becoming rigid. You're open without being exposed. That balance is wisdom. Chosen One. There is a quiet authority growing in you that others may not know how to label. They may feel it before they understand it. Your presence no longer seeks validation, yet it invites trust. People sense safety around you even if they cannot articulate why. That safety comes from integrity, from consistency, from alignment between what you believe and how you live. Anointed One, there is also a deeper compassion forming in you, not the kind that absorbs everyone's pain, but the kind that responds without losing itself. You can empathize without being overwhelmed. You can listen without needing to fix. This compassion will allow you to serve without burning out and love without resentment. As you continue forward, you may notice that your prayers are changing. You are asking less for signs and more for wisdom, less for speed and more for clarity, less for control and more for alignment. This is maturity. God responds to these prayers differently, not with urgency, but with precision. Chosen One, do not underestimate the power of the life you are building quietly. What feels small now will feel significant later. Consistency compounds. Integrity accumulates. Faithfulness creates momentum that does not fade. You are laying foundations that will hold weight when responsibility increases. Anointed One, there will be moments ahead when you are tempted to rush again, to move ahead of clarity out of excitement or fear. When that happens, return to what you know: stillness, prayer, discernment. You do not need to chase what God has already aligned. What is meant for you will not require panic. You may also feel moments of loneliness, even in healthy seasons. That does not mean you are disconnected. It means you are transitioning. Transitions often feel quiet because identity is shifting. Let that process unfold without forcing familiarity. God often introduces new connections after internal alignment has stabilized. Chosen One, trust that the version of you emerging now is capable of handling what once would have overwhelmed you. You are stronger, but also softer, wiser, but also more open, confident, but also teachable. This balance will keep you grounded as your influence expands. There is also a new relationship forming between you and responsibility. You no longer see it as burden, you see it as stewardship. Stewardship changes how you approach opportunity. You do not rush toward it, you prepare for it. And preparation honors God. Anointed One, you may sense that your life is beginning to intersect with purpose more visibly, not dramatically but consistently. You are noticing patterns, opportunities aligning, conversations opening doors. This is not coincidence. It is the fruit of alignment catching up to obedience. I want to remind you of something important. You do not need to become someone else to step into what God has prepared. You are not behind. You are not lacking. You are not unqualified. You have been shaped intentionally through every season you questioned. Nothing was wasted. Chosen One, continue to choose faithfulness in the ordinary. The extraordinary often grows out of consistency, not intensity. Show up fully, rest intentionally, pray honestly, listen carefully. These practices will sustain you far beyond emotional highs. As you move forward, remain grounded in humility, not the kind that shrinks, but the kind that remembers where strength comes from. Gratitude will keep your heart soft. Awareness will keep your spirit alert. Obedience will keep your path clear. Anointed One, the journey ahead will not always be easy, but it will be aligned. You will encounter resistance, but it will not derail you. You will face decisions, but you will not be confused. You will be watched, but you will not be shaken, because you are anchored. Chosen One, you're not walking blindly into the future. You are walking wisely. You're not reacting to life. You are responding with discernment. You are not striving for identity. You are living from it. Continue forward with confidence that is calm, faith that is grounded, and obedience that is steady. God is with you, not just ahead of you, not just behind you, but within you, guiding every step with intention. And that guidance will carry you exactly where you are meant to be. Chosen one, as we come to the close of this sacred moment, I want you to pause and recognize what has already taken place within you. This was not just a message you listened to. This was an encounter you were meant to receive. Something has shifted, something has aligned, something has been activated in the unseen, and your spirit knows it. Anointed one, hear this clearly. A supernatural transfer is already in motion, not someday, not eventually, now. You are standing in your kairos moment, the exact window of divine timing prepared for you long before you ever pressed play. Heaven has not been watching passively. Heaven has been arranging, positioning, and releasing with precision. What was delayed has found its appointed hour. What was hidden has entered the season of manifestation. Chosen one, I speak peace over your heart and clarity over your mind. Every weight you carried into this moment that did not belong to you is being lifted. Every confusion that tried to cloud your discernment is dissolving. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. The same God who sees in secret is now moving openly on your behalf. Anointed one, receive this declaration. You are being entrusted with more, not because you demanded it, but because you were faithful in the unseen. What is coming will require wisdom, humility, and courage, and you have been prepared for all three. You will recognize the next steps, not through pressure, but through peace. You will move forward, not in fear, but in quiet confidence. Chosen one, let your spirit remain aligned with gratitude. Gratitude keeps your heart open. Gratitude keeps your discernment sharp. Gratitude anchors you in trust as blessings begin to unfold in ways you could not orchestrate yourself. You do not need to chase what God has already released. Stay faithful, stay grounded, stay obedient to the small instructions, because they are carrying large outcomes. Anointed one, I bless your discernment. I bless your decisions. I bless your capacity to remain calm while others rush. I bless your ability to hear God clearly in a noisy world. I bless your courage to walk away when necessary, and your grace to remain kind when misunderstood. No weapon formed against what God is establishing in you will prosper. Every false narrative will lose its voice. Every hidden scheme will dissolve in the light of truth. Chosen one. You are being sent forward not burdened but empowered, not emptied but filled, not uncertain but established. Carry what God has placed in you with reverence. Walk gently but firmly. Speak when led. Be silent when guided. Trust that the one who watches over you neither slumbers nor fails. As you go from this moment, remain attentive to what unfolds around you. Pay attention to peace. Pay attention to alignment. Pay attention to doors that open without strain. These are confirmations, not coincidences. You do not need to announce your elevation. Let fruit speak. Let consistency testify. Let God complete what He has begun. Chosen one. If this moment resonated deeply within you, you may leave a quiet amen in the comments as an act of agreement, not obligation. If you feel led, you may subscribe or share this word so it can reach another soul standing at their own appointed time. Do so only as an extension of alignment, never pressure.